Hello, beautiful people. Crystal here with your Tuesday daily tarot reading. And the reason why we do these readings are to get overall feel of the day, to know what is working for us and what is working against us. Excuse me, that was gross. I don't know why every time I get on here, that's when I get choked up. But today we have the Temperance, we have the Nine of Cups, and we have the Two of Swords. One thing I want you all to remember is to always have like a smile on your face whenever you see the Nine of Cups, which is this card right in the middle, because it always delivers such good vibes. It really, really does. But let's get into the details and talk about what this day is all about. So, with the Temperance card in the avoid position, this isn't really the day to weigh out the good and the bad of what sometimes the Temperance card can be like, handling the impossible, taking on a lot, trying to be everything for everyone, trying to find what peace and tranquility really is in life. Today really isn't about that. It's really funny because I found that when you do things that make you feel good, that you enjoy, that you love, a lot of the times you'll ultimately fall into, like they say, if you have a career that you love 80% of the time, right, it's a career that you can have forever. Or like, if you love your work, you'll never, if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. You know how people say stuff like that. That is the Nine of Cups, and it is just so much happiness. And I think what we have to do, or avoid today with the Temperance card, is making things too spiritual. This isn't really a day to have such a spiritual perspective on everything, or to or even to, like I said, take on too much, or discriminate. This is more of a day with the Nine of Cups to just focus on what makes you feel good. And a lot of the times, you all, to be honest, we don't really get days like that. I listen to a lot of like wealth mindset speakers and inspirational speakers and things like that. And one thing they talk about, hey Charles, one thing they talk about a lot is that, you know, inspiration or motivation only lasts for so long, right? Ultimately, discipline and consistency is what gets you to where you need to be. It's not about the sorry, my baby is trying to like bust in the room. But it's not about you know, motivation sometimes, because just like the example that they gave, like when you have your New Year's resolution, you're all pumped up thinking that you're about to lose all this weight, and I'm gonna do it this time, and then you don't do shit. Nothing gets done. Why? Because dedication and determination is what's needed. Consistency of saying, this is what I'm going to do, it doesn't matter what else happens, this is what needs to get done. Because that spark only lasts for so long. And it's not to say that we don't enjoy the energy of the Temperance, which motivates us and protects us. But most of our days are about discipline, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. But today is about what feels good. Okay, so it's a little bit of the opposite. So, but I was getting a dialogue around, if you do what feels good today, it will lead you to your biggest desires and dreams and hopes. And of course, doing what feels good is not anything that harms our body, right? Doing what feels good should be something that we feel from the heart space, not something that we have to ingest in order to feel. Now, this will be a great day, to have a drink, or to, just kind of live life and just have a really good time. But with that being said, you don't want to go overboard, and you have to ultimately think, hey, Miss Johnson, you have to ultimately think, yes, this feels good, but I don't want to, be super drunk and drive. You know what I mean? Like, be realistic about the message, you all. I don't want anybody, you know, relapsing on cocaine and then blaming me, saying Crystal said do what makes you feel good. No, no. As long as it's not going to harm you, then do it, go for it. And the reason why I titled this is ask for what you want. Sometimes you just have to put it out there, you all. It is scary. scary isn't the word I should use. It is mind blowing when you have something that you desire and you go after it, how quickly the universe will respond to you, how quickly your higher self will naturally attract that to you. If you're the type of person saying, oh, my friends suck, I have horrible friends, the moment you change that mindset and you say, I'm grateful for the friends that I do have, or I'm grateful for the life that I have, and now I attract, amazing friends. It's almost just, I mean, literally, it's mind blowing how quickly things turn around or how you start to meet new people. But you have to take a chance, right? I said ask for what you want. The only way you can do that is if you say it. So it takes a bit of action and trusting the process. So I just love the Nine of Cups because life is hard, you all. And those of you who watch these daily videos, you're doing just taking a couple minutes out of your day to try to really ground yourself before you get the day going or whatever, or if you watch these later and reflect, you're really trying. Life is still difficult sometimes, but it doesn't have to always be. And the Nine of Cups speaks on that. It's almost kind of like mind blowing. Just finding out these different ways of looking at life, and just you all, it's been so much going on just in my personal life that I'm realizing about the wealthy, and taxes, and how if you have passive income, that's not, that doesn't get taxed. If you have real estate, that can't be taxed if you provide living for people. So anyway, and I know it's more technical than that, but it's just like we're not taught these things in school. We're taught get a job, do the normal thing, shut up, and just once you get 70, you'll be able to enjoy your Corvette, when that is not really life. So I encourage everyone to constantly learn. Even though I love spirituality, I always try to feed my mind with other things as well to better myself. So with this Nine of Cups, what I'm getting at is just take the first step forward, and you never know what breakthrough it might lead you to today. Because with the Nine of Cups, this is so very blessed, okay? The last card we have is the Two of Swords, but it says you have to see it though. You have to know what makes you feel happy. I think one of the hardest things in life is when you don't know what you like. When you don't know what you enjoy. That is when things can be foggy. And I would suggest at that point, get an astrology reading, get a tarot reading, get some guidance, because that means you're out of touch with your intuition or your higher self. Not a big deal, not a problem. And it is confusing sometimes. Just like how we were having it, how I was just talking about how we're not taught money management and things like that in college. Even people who go to an accounting school still really aren't taught some of these ideas and concepts around money and just our country that we live in. It's mind blowing. But the Two of Swords, regardless, you all, to stay on point, is saying that don't put yourself in a position of not seeing the truth. Don't put yourself in a position of thinking that you just have to make a decision today. No, today you just have to do what feels good. You just have to trust your instincts. If your instinct says, call off work today, call off work. Now, don't blame me if anything happens, but seriously, if you're the type of person who never does that, today would be a cool day to do that, because the moon, or how about this, go to work and just maybe figure out why don't I like this place? What in me has changed? The way to escape the Two of Swords is to get out of your mind and to connect right here with this little crescent moon to your intuition. Your intuition doesn't lie. And most times if we listen to that and we let that guide us, we'll make the right decisions. But if we get, oh, well, maybe I should do this. Oh, I thought I should do that. And maybe I'll go over here. I was talking to my husband earlier, and what did he bring up? He was talking about, I want to say he brought up, oh, was it a business idea around, gosh, I can't think of what it was. It was some business idea though. And, one thing I told him was that you have to focus on one thing at a time. You can, like, if you have a business that you want to grow, that you ultimately want to be prosperous, you can't spread yourself thin and looking into this business, then looking into that business, then I'm looking over here, then I'm thinking about that, because then nothing will get accomplished. And so I didn't mean that in an offensive way when I was talking to him, but you have to learn, you have to be consumed and obsessed with what you're going into before you just hop on to the next thing, or you'll just have these different ideas scrolling through your head and no action is actually getting done. And no offense to him, he's a very productive person, and but he has that energy to where he's like, he has all these great ideas, and they are really great ideas, but we have to start with one. And that's the message of the Two of Swords. This woman is holding two swords, defending herself, and she doesn't know which way she's swinging or which way she needs to cut. And ultimately, the Moon card is saying, listen to your gut. If you are like my husband, who's like, oh, I think I'll open up a nursing home. Oh, I think I'll start a trucking company. Oh, I think, you know, find the one that feels good to you. Lean towards that, whether it's a business, a relationship. It could be anything in your life. Maybe it's just making better decisions for yourself. The Nine of Cups helps you by saying, do what feels good. So to kind of recap, you all, avoid putting yourself at heavy crossroads, overly judging yourself, trying to figure out everyone else's problems today, and just focus on what feels good. If what feels good is, instead of making 100 phone calls a day at your job, only making 50 and making it up later on in the week, do it. Maybe at that point when you didn't make that other 50 calls, you end up doing something else, and it triggered something for you in a good way. So I really like this energy. I think that today will be a really great day. It's not far. It's not, it's not our head that wins. It's our emotions. It's our heart, and it's our intuition today. So have a great one. And as always, I'll talk to you tomorrow.